make this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, cut it off, the music off a little bit quick
Well,
there.
Tell you what, there you got a little,
I was in a
little
hurry.
excited here.
All right, so good morning. This is Get It Right Texoma. We got the trio here. We got myself, Terry,
And Trey,
and we got Mike, always overseeing us, looking at us, laughing at us, saying ha ha ha, all the time. We know that.
yeah,
He's probably
absolutely, yeah.
so. We've got our. I already said that he's in the sky. He's looking us over. Anyway, we usually go live, but this time we're not live. We're actually going to record a day ahead to kind of meet the schedule of our guest,
Right.
which is, of course, we're going to say it again, but it's Tim Short, the mayor. He's been here many times, been very supportive of our little show here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
he was on the radio show for many years as well.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
He is always kind of. He was a sponsor and a
Mhm.
whole bit of the radio station, all that. But anyway, so we normally record this, or not normally record it. We don't normally record it, but that's what we're doing this time. But doesn't matter. We still would like you to participate. You can make comments. Let us know how you like it and all that good stuff. Give any comments and suggestions and everything else. And so, like I said, we have a guest, Wichita Falls Mayor
Tim Short.
Tim Short.
That's right.
And his big salary. No. No, but they've been making things happen here.
Got a lot going on.
Man.
It'd be great to catch up with him. He was on probably about 3 or 4 months ago. We try to have him on once a quarter.
Yeah, at least, yeah. So as I said, just go ahead and please make some comments. Let us know kind of what you like, what you don't like. And all of our archives are on YouTube, although they only stay on Facebook for about a month.
Yeah, but nobody uses Facebook anymore.
Well, actually, some of our numbers are higher on Facebook, interestingly.
Yeah.
So,
But not for very long.
But well, hey, yeah, not for more than 30 days.
Yeah.
So anyway, you'll get to see some old shows with. I say old, not really all that old, but Mike.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah,
Almost 2 years of content. Yeah.
That's right. So we got Mike. A lot of his stuff. I was actually watching some shorts last night.
Yeah.
Not okay. Short videos, not anybody's shorts. So anyway, I was watching.
That.
Yeah, so watching some of them, and one of them I liked in particular. If y'all go find it, is the one that maybe we'll show it sometime. But the one about I talked about AI and how we can.
Oh yeah,
historically you can. In fact, I forgot to start this one, but anyway, I've got some nice little devices that record.
Yeah, that got into that just kept building. It was almost like a comedy routine. It was all improvisation.
That's right. So anyway,
we do have the most unique and comprehensive podcast involving Texoma.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the area beyond.
Yeah.
We have great guests. We have insights. We have news from local, state, national, international, everything.
And all of that.
Intergalactic at times.
There you go. So, and this is Get It Right Texoma. So let's get started. We start off with
our local restaurant.
Restaurant we have today is the Feedlot Restaurant. I've been there many times.
Yeah, the Feedlot in Burnett. It's right there on the highway. And as you come into town, and just a really good home style restaurant.
Absolutely.
Terry's gonna pull up there.
Yeah, I'll pull up the
stuff there. But yeah, so if it's on the southbound lane of I-44, it's not right in. I mean, not the second you cross the river, but it's not too far in. To once you pass the Red River into Burnett.
Yep.
And you take I don't know what exit it is. It's the exit that where the Whataburger is, because it's kind of next to that.
Yeah, I don't remember what the exit is either.
Yep.
Yeah, but anyway, you pull off to the
you
right.
can't. I mean, Stevie Wonder could see it. I mean, it's got a big sign there. It's not like they're hidden I mean, they're right there. It's a big building.
Yep.
They have a big sign that says the Feedlot.
Yep.
And so
yeah, that reminds me in Fort Worth, we used to have a restaurant called the Haystack.
Mm-hmm.
And so that name just sounds familiar to me. But anyway, yeah,
what do you find in a feedlot? A haystack.
There you go. That's it. So just go check it. I mean, they're okay. Two things, of course, that I usually get are the chicken fried steak.
Yes.
And then I also get their cobbler. They always have. They put ice cream on it. They put a la mode. So it's awesome, man. It's awesome. So
when you've got what are their hours?
Oh, their hours. Let's see. I always have to hunt that down. Let's see. The hours. They're closed now, but
They're closed right now. They're
Yeah,
closed at
yeah.
7:30 in the morning on Friday. What the hell? What's wrong with
I
that?
know. So they're Thursday. Let's see here. Monday they're closed, but they're open every other day.
Okay.
And up until 9. Yeah, but they're all day Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 9. But otherwise, there's a break, for lunch. They do a lunch and then they do a dinner.
So be sure to check their website. Yeah,
but Monday, just not Mondays. That's not unusual for a lot of restaurants.
No, yeah,
especially since they're open,
all the right.
other days.
You think about it, unless you have shifts, and you almost kind of have if you have 6 days a week.
Yeah.
But if you go 7 days a week, you have to have shifts. You can't
Yeah.
have people working 7 days
yeah.
a week all
No.
the time, not for a sustainable amount of time.
Right. But go check it out. I mean, they are really good. I've always, I'm trying to think if I've ever had anything else. Now, my wife, do they have chicken livers?
I don't know
remember.
about that.
But-
That's one I would not know about. I
I'm
never
not.
pay attention. Yeah.
I'm not a liver.
Yeah. No. Gizzards, livers, no. I ain't
Nah,
into
it's all
that shit,
bitter to
no.
me. But some people like liver. and onions
My
and all
dad
that.
did.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
gizzards and livers
No.
and that sort of stuff. No, but they do have. But it's really home style cooking for the most
Right.
part. Their burgers. I had a burger there one time. It was a really good burger.
Okay.
Yeah, real high quality burger.
Yeah.
But they've got chop steak and burgers and chicken fried steak and
Right.
all kinds of great vegetables. The vegetables were really good as well.
Right.
They're really fresh and they cook them in plenty of butter, so they've got a great flavor to them. But go check them out. Feedlot Restaurant, Burke Burnett, Texas.
Yep. I don't know why it switched over. Oh, it keeps switching back. Oh, well, technology for me this morning is not working all that well.
Boy, I tell you, for the tech guy, it's been a little challenging.
Yeah. So, check it out and tell them we sent you.
That's right. Tell them that Terry and Trey sent you.
Yeah. They may not know who the hell
No.
Trey are, but but no, the Texoma, or Get It Right Texoma podcast. Tell them, and then
That's right.
We'll ask them next time we're there. So, all right, what do we got next up? Yeah,
We'll get some local
Ooh.
happenings. Of course, tonight there's a really big football game in Wichita Falls. That's pretty important for both teams. But the event that's happening before the football game is a fish fry. It's called Texas Fish and Chips event, and it's to help support sending the combined bands of Wichita Falls Memorial and Legacy High School to England to march in the New Year's Day parade in London, which is huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge. But this is how big this game. Let me tell you about the football game real quick.
Okay.
So Legacy and Memorial High Schools are the only two high schools left in Wichita
Right.
Falls. So they're obviously rivals. They're going to be rivals. It just started, but they're rivals. They're in the same district. This is the last regular game of the season. Whoever loses is out of the playoffs, no matter what.
Okay.
Whoever wins, if Memorial wins, they're automatically in the playoffs. And if Legacy wins, and then they have to have another team, I think Abilene Wiley either has to lose or win, but they have to have some help. They can make the playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
So you talk about two teams that have everything to play for. They're crosstown rivals. So pride is on the line and on top of that. And then on top of that, the winner either will go to the playoffs or has a good chance to go to the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
it's a lot to play for.
There you go.
So to the event, so it starts at 4:30. It's 4:30 to 6:30. It's going to be at Garnett Field, which is, some people call it McNeil Field. It's over by McNeil Junior High. It was named for Irving Garnett, though, which is very appropriate. Was a very, very great educator here in Wichita Falls. And I was proud to be on the board when we named Garnett Field after Mr. Garnett, Coach Garnett. So anyhow, it's going to be tonight. The first 600 plates have been donated. Now, not to the public. You got to pay to get it, but to the band.
Right.
So in other words, Redneck Culinary Academy is donating the first 500 plates, 100%. We're cooking it, buying the food and everything, the first 500 plates. And then there's a private donation. A friend of mine called me who wants to remain anonymous and wants to donate the next 100 plates.
Okay.
So 501 to 600. So, but the point is, I don't know if they're charging $10 a plate for them or whatever it is. What you can understand is that first 600 plates, whatever they're charging, 100% of that's going to go to the band.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, anything over that, they're going to do is reimburse the food costs to Redneck Culinary. It's not going to, they're not going to reimburse travel or cooking or labor. It's just and food costs. So they're still going to make money. The band's still going to make money.
Yeah, it's kind of like the lemonade stand when you were a kid.
There you go.
Mom and dad, kind of inherently got got it started.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they made the seed money.
There you go.
So it's a really cool deal. But this is a great life-changing event for kids.
Yeah.
Think about it. There's kids who will never have an opportunity to travel outside the country. There's people, not just kids. They're kids now. But they'll never have an opportunity to travel outside the country or travel anywhere. And what things like this does, it really opens up doors and opportunities for people to see that there is a larger world.
Right.
And it may spark something in a kid and say, you know what? Maybe instead of staying here in town and doing this or doing that, maybe I'm going to go somewhere and explore.
Yeah.
So, but plus the prestige of having, and sure, not everybody in London knows where Wichita Falls is, but
Yeah.
it's still a neat thing for our city to be able to say we had a combined band who went to the New Year's Day parade in London and marched in the New Year's Day parade. It's a big deal.
Yeah. All right. We'll check it out. So tomorrow, right? You said?
No, tonight.
Oh.
Tonight's Friday.
Yes.
Yeah, we're recording this ahead of time. Yeah.
Okay. So tonight.
So it's Friday. It's tonight. Yeah, tonight.
All right.
And so
Before the game.
4:30 to 6:30.
Okay. Check it
It's a
out.
full fish fry. It's going to be catfish, fries, hush puppies, coleslaw, and drink.
All right. That sounds awesome.
Go check it out.
All right. So
And if you there's a Facebook page. If you want to buy tickets ahead of time, you can. But if not, be sure to walk up and get there in plenty of time to get food.
Okay. Then let's see here. So what do we got?
The Chamber Awards, the Wichita Falls Annual Chamber Awards 2025 is going to be Thursday, December 4th, and it's going to be at the Forum at 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. So it's a lunchtime event, and you can go on there. Is that Facebook? Or it's probably their website.
Well, that's their website. Yep.
Yeah, go to the Chamber website. You can check it out right there. You get all the details.
Yeah. Register and everything.
Yeah, buy your tickets. Excuse me. But it's kind of, they talk about what's going on with the chamber. And of course, there's some big changes now with
Right.
Ron
Oh,
Kitchens
yeah.
is leaving. But it's also a time for them to recognize outstanding members, businesses that have done a lot of outstanding stuff in this calendar year.
Okay. Well, then be there, be square.
That's right. Go check it out.
Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to get my mouse to work there. All right. So
That sounds a little personal.
Yeah.
So election results. There was election. There was some election results that were big in Texas, and then there was some election results that were big in the country.
Yes.
So I guess the most
City.
controversial one, but I mean, don't despair. It really doesn't affect us.
No,
unless you want to go to New York City. But New York City, Zohran Mandami has been elected mayor, and I have hesitations and reservations. But you know what? It's not my business. It's their business. If they wanted to vote for him, he's a Democrat socialist by his name. He said
He
that.
is,
That's
yes.
not Trey. That's not Trey saying.
No, that's not a criticism
No.
necessarily. That is
And to him, it would not be a
that's his-
criticism. It would be a badge of honor.
Yep.
that he
That's
wears.
his. Yep.
So he's tapped into something in New York City. Now, I will say in the past, he's been very critical, especially of Jewish people and things like that.
Yeah.
Which New York City is chock full of Jewish people.
Well,
which is kind of amazing that
Yeah.
that I don't know if they stayed home or what the deal was. So we'll see what happens. In the end, I don't get my knickers in a twist about something like this because I could really give a shit. I don't live there. Not my problem. I don't plan on going there. So
Well, he squeaked on the
he didn't
50%.
smoke them. I mean, but here's what I think is funny: the Democrats are making these big like this was a resounding victory. It's like, oh, you mean a Democrat got voted for mayor of New York City? No shit, Sherlock. Same as New Jersey. The Democrat candidate won over the Republican candidate for the governor of New Jersey, which that didn't flip. I believe it was currently a Democrat anyhow.
Right.
Now, where there was a flip was Virginia. The Virginia governor, outgoing governor Glenn Youngkin, was a Republican, and Spanberger Ashley there's a lady named whose last name is Spanberger, which sounds like the worst restaurant you'd want to go to is old Spanberger. No, Spanberger.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she beat I believe the lady who was the Attorney General, Winston Earl Sears or something like that, who was the Attorney General. She beat her. So the Democrats in these high caliber races did well,
Right.
but just because they did well in a few little spots doesn't mean that, they're acting like this was a referendum all over the country. It's like, no, I didn't vote for the Virginia race. You didn't vote for the Virginia race. I didn't vote for New York City race. So it really wasn't a referendum. But
Right. Well, but an interesting thing here, though, isn't it?
Abigail Spanberger.
Yeah.
Not Ashley.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how we were kind of rooting for Andrew
Cuomo.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
The guy who killed, who shut down, like rest homes. And
Yeah.
stuff like
Oh,
that
yeah. The
during
governor at the
COVID.
time.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically was kind of culpable in the death of a whole bunch of old people in New York City. Elderly.
Yeah. And never held accountable.
Yeah.
Maybe the vote, I guess, he got put out. But still, anyway.
Now,
all
if
right.
you're watching us, chances are this other election was much more meaningful,
Yes.
and it was the amendments.
Yeah, a
Texas.
bunch of
Now,
amendments.
You could be in Oklahoma, and it maybe is not meaningful.
Yeah.
to you,
17 amendments.
but 17 amendments, all of them passed,
Yeah. I was surprised.
and
actually.
some of them
What was the
resoundingly.
closest? Yeah. What was the closest?
The closest one was Proposition 17, allowing the state to prevent property values near the border from increasing due to border security infrastructure-related improvements, and it was 57 for and 43 against.
That's interesting. I wonder why that.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
But-
That's
But the ones that were the biggest winners were clarifying to the Texas Constitution that a person who's not a U.S. citizen can vote,
Right.
72 to 28. I know it should be, whatever.
yeah.
Adding the language of parental rights currently outlined in federal case law to the Texas Constitution, 70 to 30. See in the 70s. Oh, increasing the homestead exemption was 79 to 21. So what 21 people, dumbasses, voted against that? Allowing the state to raise a homestead exemption. Wait a minute. I just said that one. Oh, increasing the homestead exemption.
Yeah, they were.
And then there was a allowing the state to raise the homestead exemption. That passed 78 to 22. Proposition 10, this was the largest win, creating a process that would temporarily lower property taxes on homes destroyed by fire.
Yeah.
89 to
I
11.
thought that was a very niche.
It really kind of is.
I mean, I get the fairness of it is the fact that while you're rebuilding, it has
Yeah.
no value
Yeah.
very other than the land. So
But it actually beat the Proposition 7 was providing property tax breaks of homes of spouses of veterans who've died,
yeah,
86 to 14. And then
was that the highest?
no, the highest was
Oh, okay.
hang on, which
Yeah, it's a big long list of the bar graph.
yeah.
So,
I was trying to find the two homestead exemptions, those were the tax relief bills.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Now,
anyway.
the highest one was the because it was 11 against lower property taxes on homes destroyed by fire. That was
Yeah.
highest.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh,
89 to 11.
Again, very niche. I mean,
Very niche.
How many times
But-
have
but-
you had a house fire?
Yeah, very,
So-
but what 11% voted against it? Why would you vote against it?
Well, yeah, that's true too. Other than that, yeah,
Why
yeah,
would
that,
you vote against it?
No, that one I
how
can
would- How does it hurt you or affect you at all?
no, but yeah, I
Seriously.
get it. Yeah,
I mean, if you have a house fire, it may be good for you. If you don't have a house fire, it doesn't hurt you.
right. Yeah.
So why would you vote?
Well, what if you have a tornado?
That has nothing to do with tornadoes. That's specifically.
I
said
know.
about
I'm
fires.
just my question
But why
is.
would you vote against it though? That's what I'm saying.
No. I understand. I'm just saying why it's so specific. It just seems a little odd. I know we should have debated it before. I could have affected the vote.
Yeah. I don't know why. My point is, I don't know why somebody would vote against it.
No, I get
It
it.
just shows you there are people who are going to vote against everything.
No, but I think it's the question is really about whether or not it's really the response. Is that the appropriate place to do certain things? I'm not to codify it in a constitution.
It doesn't hurt you.
But I can see it being more broader, though. I just think it's odd that it was.
Well, I can see that, but why? Even if you want it more broad, that doesn't you don't vote against it. You say
So now
let's add.
So now I've got to fight if my house. Of course, it's not going to matter because you'll probably have it rebuilt or something. But I don't know. Anyway, I get it. I get it.
I just don't understand why you. It just goes to show there are people who are going to vote no.
Yeah, cave people
on everything.
as
Yes,
Mike used to say.
Yes.
It's, Citizens Against virtually everything. So,
Right.
yeah. So, anyway, all right. So, we've got local stuff that went down here. So, the purchase of Kirby Middle School in August made the bid to purchase the building.
This is the city of Wichita Falls.
Okay, wait a minute. City Council approves the purchase
Yeah.
of the Kirby Middle School. In August, the city made the bid, and then they basically approved it. Now, it still has to close, right?
It has to close, but
Right.
I mean, it's been approved. Everybody's
Right.
approved
And they're not
it.
closing the building. Remember how the mall?
Yeah.
The city closed on the mall, and there were some people thought, "Oh my God, they've already closed the mall."
Well, they have closed the building. The building is not open right this second. You
Well,
can't go in there,
right, but
it will be reopened.
So, but anyway, $1.225 million in renovations will be necessary. Oh my God!
No, they purchased it for $1.225 million, and then renovations will.
There
be
you
necessary.
go, and then it'll probably be more than that.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So just so you know, so the city Kirby right now square footage is 112,000 square feet, which is pretty big. The current police department is 38,000 square feet.
Yeah.
And the municipal court is 9,000 square feet. They're going to house the municipal court and the police department there at Kirby. So they're going to have what we would call in the business a shitload of extra room, which is good.
yeah,
And they need it. They
Right.
need it. And there's other things that there's other things that they have that the police department has spread out all over. I think they're going to be able to bring everything in house,
right,
which is better for everybody. It's more efficient that way.
right.
But the city is projecting the renovations to cost between $150 and $350 per square foot. Probably depends on what they're doing.
Right.
You know, if you're just throwing up temporary walls and that sort of thing, that's not a big deal. But if you're having to put up load-bearing walls, change foundation, anything like that, it's going to cost a lot more per square foot.
Do you know what year this building was built?
It was built in the early 70s.
Okay. So is it still one of those with the cinder block walls in the hallway and all that stuff?
No, it actually was built a little different. It's a 3-level building, and the top level was built where the structure is on the outside, so it's a wide open space.
Okay.
So you can go in there and build offices, kind of whatever office you want and whatever size you want, things like that.
Well, but you got classrooms. I mean,
well, there's classrooms now. When I went to Kirby, there were no classrooms in the top area. When Mike and I went to Kirby,
there
were bulletin boards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they built walls, but that's still all the walls they built in there are not load bearing. They're non-structural walls.
So that'd be
they can be
easy.
moved.
Yeah, so
they can be moved
because it was an open architecture. Then they adapted back then, but now it's a lot less than because those old schools though, man, a lot of those have got. I mean, you got cinder block. I mean,
basically the old schools and most
lockers
of those,
and everything else.
They were a box with a whole bunch of boxes stuck in it.
Right.
Is basically what it is.
Okay.
So, no, they're going to have a lot of flexibility. When I heard that they were looking at doing this, I really thought that was a great idea, knowing, as much as I know about the building of Kirby. Plus, it's 3 levels. They have a gym.
Yeah.
They have, they have an area for they can have a weight room. They already have a weight room. It's kind of dinky, but, the city can make a nice weight room in there. They have, like I said, they have a workout area. They have gym. It'll be a great thing for the city.
3 times, over 3 times the
square footage,
nearly. So, well, cool.
And the construction is supposed to be complete by January of commence construction by January 2027.
So, and just to kind of put all this in perspective, I mean, these police officers have been in this building forever.
Since the 70s,
Since the 70s, and it's I've never been in it. I guess I hadn't had any. I guess
I've been in there a couple times. I've toured it. I mean, because you don't go to the police.
No, that's right.
If you get
going to the county,
you don't go to the police office. You go to jail.
Right. So
Terry, you know what that is.
I know. Yeah.
No, it's the police department. This is where the police offices are.
Right, and but to get to be able to get into a new facility where new to them facility, newly renovated
the way they want to renovate, and also for modern policing, because the fact of the matter is, policing is different. There's community policing. It's a whole different ball game than it used to be. So and there's a lot more services.
Right.
Once again, back in the day, it was just you stuck a cop out on a beat. This is your beat. You walk up and down your beat, and whatever it is. And the only time you leave your beat is when you're hauling somebody to the pokey.
Right.
But now they have they have the DARE program. They have Patsy's House. They have all these different programs that are social service programs that are run by the police department because they need to be run by the police department and they need space.
Right. Well, that's cool. I will say on social media, man, this has just been, oh my gosh, it's like, all this was talked about a little while back when it was originally the bid was made, and then suddenly it's just been in the last few days all this vitriol on social media. It's just again these cave people. It seems like, and
perfect
and
reason why I'm not on social media because I
right.
can give a crap.
Of course, well, we're gonna have some perspective. In fact, our guest has just arrived. Elvis has entered the building.
Yeah, we'll have him on in just a minute here.
Yep.
And we're actually talking. Come on in, Tim. We're talking about the city council purchasing the Kirby. We were just talking about Kirby.
Yep. So yeah.
Come on in.
Come on.
We're gonna do a live transition here.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. How you doing?
Are we live?
Yeah, we are.
We're recording.
We're recording because it's streaming tomorrow, but
yeah.
Recording live. Okay.
Yes. But we're not going to stop and do breaks and edits and everything like that.
All right. So
All
there's
right,
our.
we do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
not that one.
So we have one more story to talk about, but real quick,
Uh-oh.
since you're here,
Yeah.
I gotta fix that.
we talked about Kirby. We talked about how much it's going to cost to renovate it, how much they're buying it for, and that sort of thing, and how much extra square footage it is. So what other thing do you have to add?
Thanks
to
for
that?
coming.
Yeah.
Thanks for. I wish I'd heard some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're not.
Well, basically that we talked about the purchase price. We talked about how much the
Mm-hmm.
renovations are going to be, how much bigger it is, and it's going to be the police department and municipal court's going to go there.
Yeah. So I'll probably just repeat everything you just said.
That's fine, but
it's
it's a lot more official coming out of you.
It's 112,000 square feet.
Yeah.
You know, they're in 38,000
Yeah.
square feet
Mhm.
now.
Yeah.
So and
9,000 for municipal.
Oh yeah, and the safety committee that's been meeting for about a year now was looking at 88,000 square feet, projected. So we've got room to grow, which is always good, and plus including the municipal court out there. So, we didn't wake up. I say this a lot. We didn't wake up, Monday morning and decide to buy Kirby.
No.
There's a lot that went into this. Kirby did kind of fall into our lap, and it turned out to be a great place to be. So we and the police have been involved. The chief I toured it with him.
Sure,
absolutely.
absolutely.
With the police association with several members of the department has their blessing. They like this place. It's going to work great. They like the location.
Oh, yeah, it's right there on the highway.
Yeah, and we like the price. So they were north of $100 million heading that way. With when you get a committee together that was working on it, what it was going to cost over the next 4 or 5 years to put that together, and we'll get this for $1.2 million. It may take another $30 million to finish it up, but it'll be the state of the art police headquarters and municipal court building and the envy of the state of Texas when we're finished.
Well, and also the nice thing about this, and I just from my knowledge of Kirby being on the school board and for many years, the way it's built, it's perfect for this because it's like I was telling Terry, it's a 3-level thing. The second level and third level are kind of more, they're blocked in, but that top level, it's a bunch of non-load bearing walls there. Even when Mike and I went to school there, there were no walls.
Right.
It was just bulletin boards.
Yeah.
That's what separated everything. So then they've gone in and put walls in, but they're not load bearing. They're just
That's right. It's
they're probably metal walls and just take them down, and
that's how
metal stud walls.
Design is in there working on it. There's some asbestos to abate. So that's included. We'll take care of that too, obviously, but our police deserve it. Our municipal court deserve this.
And our citizens deserve it.
And our citizens deserve it.
Yes,
so,
I agree.
We were good stewards with the money. And, I've seen there's been so many comments, and the misinformation, what is, I'll think about the, how you say that in a minute about, the lies halfway around the world while the truth is still, putting its pants on. So anyway, there had been so many things about, well, the city bought a building from themselves and used a realtor to do it. And, it was just, and who's going to pay the taxes on the building? And we're like, well, the
two different people.
We bought it from the ISD. They weren't paying. The city doesn't pay taxes to themselves. There were a lot of things to clear up. So hopefully that has been done over the last couple of days, and folks understand why, what, how,
Well,
when, as good as possible.
Unfortunately, people are not shy late in these times about showing how stupid they are or ignorant. Not stupid, ignorant.
Yeah.
Ignorant. Sometimes stupid, but ignorant. Ignorant to the facts. Two different things. Ignorant to the facts. But people will say things with so much gusto like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Just a simple thing is the city bought it for themselves. No, they didn't.
Right.
Two taxing entities. And what people need to understand is when I say two tax entities, this is by law. Yeah. This is not that the city it just decided to make this up or the school district decided to make this up. This is how the founding fathers of Texas put this in the Constitution. This is the way it's separated. And the WFISD money, tax money, and the city of Wichita Falls tax money could not be more different than Tim Short's tax money and or business money and Trace Rawls' Eddie Hill's Fun Cycles business money. You couldn't be more different. It's the same thing.
Yes, and a lot of those things, they would probably be better framed as questions than statements of fact, how they come across. But also, we don't expect everybody to be an expert in the state constitution or taxation or how those things go. But, it would be nice to, we try to answer all of those questions. You can't anticipate all of them ever, but it would be nice to get, to be able to do that before the pitchforks and the torches, are coming down the hallway. So, I've said it so many times. I live here too.
Yeah.
I pay taxes
here too.
Yeah.
By the way, by law, once again, that's set up. You can't live in Henrietta and be the mayor of Wichita Falls.
No. So it's, that my family lives here. Yeah. I have a new granddaughter that lives here. This is her future too. So we want Wichita Falls to be the best Wichita Falls it can be.
But you're gonna sell so many more policies because you're gonna make a backdoor deal, right? I mean, they have thrown so many things.
And then the data centers and Amazon.
Yeah, they're going to buy all their insurance. They're going to go to State Farm. The data center is going to go to your State Farm agent and get their insurance. I don't think you handled that probably.
I know. I should probably be there now. I should probably be at work now the other time. So I understand.
Well, okay. So we got Kirby. Before we get into more city stuff, I wanted to talk about the shutdown. Now, just to remind everybody, we're recording this on the 6th. So if the government opens up tonight, don't go, those dumbasses, they didn't know what we're talking about. So
they'd say that anyway.
That's true.
Okay.
They may be true. But as of right now, the government is still shut down.
Yes.
And this is the longest government shutdown in history. Look, what we got to do to stop this madness on both sides. And by the way, and I've said this before on this program and on the radio, I'm critical of whomever I really believe is responsible for the shutdown.
Sure.
I was critical of the Republicans the last time it shut down. I thought they were trying to hold the border wall hostage and everything like that. And I said, nope, that's wrong. And I'm very critical about the Democrats this time because the Republicans are trying to pass a clean CR, discontinue resolution. So my idea is in the filibuster for this reason, you can only pass a clean CR. 50% vote lets you pass a clean CR, nothing added to it.
No additional spending, right.
And if it happens, you must cut 1% from the federal government. The CR passes with 1% cut across the board.
Okay.
And a 10% reduction in congressional budget.
Okay.
So what it would do would force these guys and gals to try to get their shit together and work together.
Throw term limits in there.
Oh, yeah.
So a question, though, on the shutdown. How has that affected the city?
Well,
I mean, just the city government itself. Because
just unfortunately, through Shepherd. And the people are hurting. They're not getting paid and haven't gotten paid, or gotten a partial check a couple weeks ago. Got a zero check, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Now, the military are being paid.
Yes.
All the contractors and support services
are not. And they're and they're hurting. And can you imagine? How long can you go without getting paid?
Right. Is the airport / base, is that completely military? Or has that got civilian employees in it too?
There are civilian
Okay, are they FAA or are they Air Force? See,
I think they're FAA.
okay, just
Now,
I think.
are the air traffic controller? I think those are
Those
Air
are
Force.
Air Force.
I believe the air traffic controllers are Air Force.
Yes.
all okay, because they yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It could be a civilian Air Force in theory, and it could be a FAA employee, and it can be military. So
Yes. My friend's husband does that and hasn't been paid this whole time.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
and then works in the tower.
well, I traveled last week to Philadelphia,
How was
and it wasn't bad actually. I didn't have any real issue. I did get the I'm all done, and I had no issue at all. But then they're starting to cut the flights now.
Yeah,
and
that's what I was listening to on the way here this morning.
10%
They're
cut.
cutting 10% of the flights. I don't know if that starts today or tomorrow. They were trying to figure out. People are trying to book, get the best discounts and book their flights ahead of time for the holidays. And do they?
Yeah.
Or do they not? Or they can't?
Wow.
Are they gonna?
Right.
Are they gonna be? Can you trust that they won't be canceled by the time you get to the airport?
Right, because they're already running. The airlines have gotten really good at running at nearly full capacity. At least my experience, and as I understand it, and this is going to put even more strain because then they're going to cut the flights and where they put all those passengers. We're going to have to make other
Yeah,
arrangements.
it's a long time since I've been on a flight that was half full.
And if they open say they open the government, tomorrow morning,
Oh, there's going to be a lag.
there will be because a lot of
The
those.
government doesn't move fast.
No, and all those air traffic controllers and support people and everybody don't.
Right.
It's going to be backed up for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
they can't just.
Well, anytime there's weather or any other thing, I mean, gosh, how long? Of course, we're not talking about a 9/11 kind of thing,
Right.
but still, that's just that's a big system, though. I mean, you got to give them credit. I mean, of all of the operations in the government, I think the air traffic control system is inherently wants to be not necessarily slow, but very deliberate and very careful and thoughtful about what they do. But I think for the most part, I feel very confident that in the system overall, right? I mean, we just the UPS airplane didn't have right on the surface. There's a mechanical issue. Clearly, it wasn't anything to do with that. So keep
The
that in
engine
mind.
fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, air traffic controller couldn't have fixed that.
No. They
Yeah.
made that very clear.
Yeah,
So-
Tower 3, your engines will be hanging off
Yeah.
there. But
So well, cool.
all right, so government shutdown. We kind of talked about that, but that's my whole point is we got to end this filibuster as long as there's nothing added to it. If it's a clean CR, actually, I think a deduction. I think an automatic deduction. And you're right, term limits would solve all of this. I've been saying that for years, but that's going to take a constitutional amendment.
Crazy precedent.
Absolutely.
And then somebody decides that that's precedent, and then who knows what road we end up going down just because of that. The Supreme Court gets stacked.
Well, if you just
things
had, but
get
they've
changed.
ended the filibuster on.
Yeah.
They can do it. They can end it one time, and they use their continuing resolution or what was it called they do it on the big beautiful bill.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it
The
is.
way things are interpreted right now would
Yeah.
make me more nervous than they were, than how they were interpreted.
Yeah, but the government
before.
shutting down. I mean, this is going to always happen. I mean, if you don't have if you ended the filibuster on this only allowing very very narrow, only allowing a clean CR, it really wouldn't matter who's in charge.
Yeah.
The government would still not shut down.
Well, you can't get agreement on clean CR. The word and the definition.
Well,
of
the
clean-
word
You'll
is
say
whatever
no
the budget
changes.
is right here.
I know. You still.
Somebody will nuance it.
Yeah.
Somebody will nuance it somehow.
that's
Some
a-
lawyer will get involved.
That's not what that means.
So what
I know.
else is going on in
Well,
the city of Wichita Falls?
Okay, so
Anything at all?
yeah, and there's things that So we've done this several times, but we've talked about hey, there's some things coming, and guess what's gonna? Amazon's open and operating. People
Are they actually open?
Yeah.
I didn't realize
We
that.
forgot about that. They're operational. So so if they're shipping things right this minute, I'm not sure, but they are operational and 100% permitted and good to go.
So as far as you know on that, I have a question. Maybe
Yes.
you probably know because you've been deep in it. But what exactly is this facility doing? Is it just a warehouse, and are they going to be delivering from it to Wichita Falls in our area?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be storing actual product. Okay,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And every tube of toothpaste that's out there, we get paid on. while it sits here, before it's shipped out, that everything in the warehouse. So it's called a last mile distribution center. And it may be 50 miles, it may be 75, but there's something like that. They will store the top 3,000 items that are used within and ordered within that 50-mile radius.
That's if you get it the next day. That's why.
That day.
Oh, that day. Oh, we have the same day now.
Same I was going to say,
whoa, Wichita Falls is up. I knew that. I knew that, but I didn't know we had that available. Okay. Well,
let me tell you now.
They will deliver that, same day stuff that's being ordered. The things that aren't on that list, whatever's on that list, next day.
Right. Oh yeah, because
like
out of Dallas,
like
right? Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a model that they want to put. They want to have these every couple 100 miles, basically across America, like post office kind of. But so they can service things.
But efficient.
Because but they know what we're ordering, which is creepy and terrifying, kind of.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
Incredibly efficient,
Right.
as a business model. So,
Well, there's some things that are incredibly, dictatorships are incredibly
True.
efficient too, but
Well,
but
hey,
I don't necessarily want
but-
to live
but
there.
real people working there.
Right.
That's a good
Well,
news.
I want-
There are some real people.
Oh
there.
yeah.
some good news.
Well, I want to point out some interesting trivia that you may not know, but this guy right here, this is called the Bee. It's called Bee Pioneer. It's a little AI device. Not AI, but a recorder. It records and then throws it into AI if I want it, But anyway, the point is, this company was bought by Amazon. So Amazon, love them or hate them, they've really got some cool stuff out there. They own the Eero stuff that I deal with is home Wi-Fi. Eero's owned by Amazon, but they're running as a separate company though.
Okay.
So they don't tend to when you go talk to them, they seem to have the same customer service and all of that. So
Well,
anyway,
they're in the data center business too.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
AWS, so
Yeah, Amazon's.
It's
Amazon is one of those things. You talk about an American success story.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This
From the garage.
Started as
a book reseller
Yeah,
from a garage. You're right, and grew up and got really smart. Where they really got smart was they saw this wave of internet and technology coming, and they jumped on the middle of that, and that's why AWS makes more money than Amazon retail does.
right.
That my lack of that type of thinking was I always thought it was really weird when they would try to sell us a phone that had a camera in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would always buy the one that didn't have the camera.
Right.
I would go, why would I have a camera? Why would I want a phone with a camera
Yeah.
in it? So yeah, you gotta watch me when it comes to technology. Amazon operational, Winco.
Yes. Winco.
Open, operational, and man, good news in that place. I just, people really like Winco now, and they've been such a good partner, here that and that corridor of Winona it will open up down to Maplewood, and that is going to be, I don't say the next Lawrence Road, but the next Lawrence Road,
Probably.
Right.
all of that right there will be, commercial development and
Happening with the Wilson facility, isn't that right behind the big tower that's there? Is that not going right near there? Or do you know anything?
can't talk about it.
Okay. So there is something happening.
Maybe.
Yeah. There's
You know.
possibility. Yeah, I get it.
No.
That's fine.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and
Everything down there.
know.
Let's make a blanket statement. Everything over there. There's plans for every piece of square foot of land over in that.
And a
area.
plan is a
There are.
plan.
there are.
And
It's a plan, but at least it's a plan.
Just like there are for new developments and new housing and new things like that.
Oh, I think
Try
there'll
to-
be a huge development go out by Memorial High School.
There
There's no
are.
doubt.
There are
I mean,
drawings.
Stevie Wonder could see that.
of there are drawings and plans for development. With streets that just don't even have names yet that are going on all around because we're gonna have a place to put these people.
Yes.
We're gonna have 5,000 people here over the next 7 to 10 years building these facilities, and some of if you need 800 electricians, we don't have 800 electricians. So yes, some of them will have to come from
some hopefully will stay.
and some will stay, just like they did with the schools. When we built the schools, when the schools were built, I remember speaking to a gentleman that was I don't remember if it was at Memorial or Legacy, and he was one of the contractors there, and had lived in San Antonio and had been working up here for months. And he said, I moved my family up here and bought a house. he said, we're getting out of San Antonio and we're coming up here. He goes, you know, and my kids are going to be educated in these schools. And that was the first time that I heard about that. So what if, you know, we always talk about 1%.
Yeah.
You know, what if we grew 1%? Well, so we have 5,000 people coming here to work. What if we kept 1% of them even? You know,
Right.
that's another 500 families that. Right.
No, 50. But
50
yeah.
families. Okay.
But it's still
That's the
50.
politician
Right.
math,
Right.
But we ought to be able to get more than 1%.
Right.
Of that.
But even that is, you know, low hanging fruit. You know,
Sure.
if you can just get that,
And it's
we're always looking for
right. And I guess it's just amazing to me how people cannot understand how things flow. Sure, there have been abuses of, you know, the rich people and all of this other things, and I have a philosophy about why the rich people have gotten richer, and it has to do with the $38 trillion debt that we have. But is that the money that didn't exist, we've created and we've handed off. We've loaned money that then what do rich people do? They know how to make money.
They use money to make money.
Right. They know how to make money, and they're going to be better at it than probably most of us. And I'm a business owner, but I'm not at that scale.
Right.
So it's understandable that they got a huge part of that debt into their pockets that we have to pay back. It's because they're more efficient with it and everything. But bottom line is, businesses create jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It's still, yes, governments create jobs, but that's not productive in an economy. It's actually a sink on the economy. It's a necessary thing, just like paying electricity and all kinds of other things.
It has to go on this side of the ledger. It
Exactly.
goes on the debit side of the ledger, not the
right.
credit.
And so all of that to say that it's just amazing to me that people can't understand the flow of economics and how it works. And you know, we're talking microeconomics here in this town, because this is where the rubber hits the road, and that all of these jobs and everything, and yeah, there's going to be a somewhere along the line, somebody's going to be dishonest, somebody's going to not be. Some people are purely motivated by profit, but even in that case, that they're creating jobs, and you have choices. We're not in a society that makes you work or makes you work for anybody in particular. You have so much more power, and it just I'm sorry it sounded so. I'm passionate about this. It's just, man, some people just give up and they're just complain. It's all they want to do. Right. And I'm just take some time and think about stuff and get out there and learn.
How many employees do you have?
I have 5 of us right now.
I have 4. You have how many?
15.
You ever lay awake at night and wonder, how am I going to pay them?
Do this? Sometimes cash flow gets a little tight, doesn't it? Yeah.
I've loaned the
we've all done
that for payroll.
Yeah, we've all done that.
But here's the thing: even in good times, when they're busy, sometimes that big client, that big thing's taking a little longer. It's cash flow, and then I go and I have a relationship with my bank, and I say, hey, I need a little to float this for a little bit, and they're happy because I can show them on paper that what's about to happen, and you know, so it's
and people don't know those things happen.
I know.
To talk to your point earlier about those people moving here and working here and then staying here, we saw this, and I saw this in my business because a lot of my customers are oil field people.
Yeah.
Okay. And we saw kind of an exodus in about 2012, 13, where the oil field really cranked up in West Texas. And we had a lot of customers that all of a sudden you didn't see them hardly ever. And because they were going down there to work. Yeah. And then eventually a lot of them moved because they were tired of family lives here. I live there in a trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm back and forth. So my family lives in my, 3,000 square foot house that I brick home that it's nice here, and I'm living in a trailer down there
because they're making $200 an hour.
Exactly, and moving back and forth. So they said, "Screw that! I'll just build a house or buy a house down here and move my family." So it's the same type of thing. It does happen in reverse.
That's right.
So hopefully we're going to get some of those people back. Not those people, but people similar.
Yeah, we want that, and we. So I know that when Ron Kitchens I spent more time with Ron Kitchens than I did my family.
Oh, sure.
The last 3 years, so. Going through all of these things and meeting with folks and meeting with some of these people that are bringing some of the things here, and we talked about these things a lot, and I still talk to him, still miss him. He's still he's in St. Louis and he's doing fine, but he teed it up.
Yeah,
he and a great team that is there.
The nice thing is that the team is still there. Mariah's still there. Maria, yeah.
Vicky, I don't want to leave anybody out. They're all
well, Maria and Mariah kind of took the head, and that's
they're
reason
all
it's
still
there.
there.
But yeah,
It's all still fine. It's teed
Yeah.
up,
Right.
and we just have to hit it. But we also have to make that 3-foot putt at the
Right.
end. You
Well,
know?
Henry had
That's where
his
we are.
place, and
Yes.
everybody had their
Right. It didn't
place
just
in
happen.
doing it. That's right.
It's
Deliberate,
it's been set up
thoughtful,
deliberately, and authentic.
above board.
It wasn't just it's been a whole sea change in about, let's say, about 5 years, 4 to 5 years. There's been a really big change in the city, not just in the Chamber of Commerce, but the city government.
Culture.
I mean, well, that changes the culture
Yeah,
came in,
yeah.
but that was because there was a lot of people that'd been on the city council a long time. And Stephen, which I like Stephen fine, but he had been around for quite a while. Yeah. And of course, the city manager had been here since Christ was a corporal. Yeah. You know, so it's one of those deals that you've in the last 5 years, you have different mayor, you have a majority of the city council's different, you have a new city manager, you have a lot of people that have changed, and it does change a culture. And then when you had Ron Kitchens coming in and changing the culture from that side, it all bled over together. It was all a work together, and it's really worked out well.
Yeah, we were ready on the city side. We were ready because we had campaigned, we had talked to everybody during that. The people were ready, and we were ready on that side. And then Ron, the chamber, everybody that works down there started saying, we can do these things. Mm-hmm. We can have nice things. We should start looking at these things. A couple years ago, because we go to Washington, D.C. now every February, and we go to the Pentagon, and we meet with people talking about Shepherd, right. Maybe different missions. We've strengthened that relationship every opportunity that we have. So, but a consequence of that was also there in Virginia is the data center capital of the world, basically, and that you trip on one, every time you walk down the sidewalk. They're everywhere. Well, let's go look at them. Let's go see what's going on over here, and end up talking to some of the contractors, talking to some of the people that are around, and then come back and did research on those things and realize that everybody wants to live in Texas,
Yeah.
So it's not a hard sell to say, hey, would we have land, water, and power. The things that you need
at reasonable prices.
Absolutely.
By the way, too.
Would you like to come to Texas and look at, and look at what we have? So
friendly people, by the way.
We weren't twisting arms to get them to come down here and check us out. And we had 13 data center companies come to Wichita Falls, Texas. Some are buying land. We have we had the largest sale per acre of land in the history of Wichita Falls.
Right,
$65,000 an acre in our business park, which is now full. We need to buy another one. That's a data center. We have 2 other sites. One on Randy Road that has been purchased, and another one by Owens Corning, I think is where that one was, the old Owens Corning, that the land is purchased. So there's 3. You get 3, you get 5. You get, there will be more than one by the time that we're finished here, and we have the capacity.
On that topic though, on data centers, that the biggest thing is
doesn't care anything about technology.
Well, I know. Yeah, it's dangerous to bring it up around.
Yeah, I know. No, some of the concerns that people have had are
valid.
because of previous ones. Not
Very
Graham, but what was the other Granbury?
Yeah,
Granbury that's got some bunch of noise and all this other stuff. Right. That's exactly right.
Yes.
That's on the cheap.
Yes.
Even Elon Musk in Memphis has got some issues. He's running these generators that are putting a bunch of methane out. So what are
that's a different thing? It's completely different.
No, I understand. But everybody's trying to put all that under the same thing and know the difference.
So dumb people are trying to, not smart people. Dumb people are.
Well,
be careful what you Google, because you might
exactly.
You find out.
All data centers are not equal in terms of how they're constructed, how they're operated, the age of them. A lot of technologies come along. Yeah. So what is it that we are doing and are going to do to keep the concerns of noise and obviously the water? We know we've talked about that. I've seen people talk about they being a closed loop system. Yes, it's going to use some initially and a little bit of maintenance along going. And then power has been one of the big issues. And so, what just touch on that real quick, just so that what we're doing.
I will. So as far as the water goes, these are when you Google things, it is hyperscale closed loop data centers, and don't look at the ones that were anything past 2 or 3 years ago because they're obsolete,
Right.
and they are retrofitting them,
Right.
to bring them up to date. Well, ours will be the newest, most
They're going
efficient,
to be built
and the
up to
best.
date.
As they're built up to date, it's a good way to say that. So how often do you change the water in your car?
All right.
Yeah. That's what cools in there.
About every
that's
three
the way
years.
these run.
By the way, check your about every 3 years. Check your
Yeah.
antifreeze there.
Right. So yeah, they'll be filled up. They will use as much water as an average restaurant in Wichita Falls. They'll also have bathrooms. They'll also make coffee and tea in there.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
these are million square feet up to 6 million square feet plus buildings. So.
Right.
But they're constantly coming up with ways to cool these things, but initially this is a closed loop water system with untreated water that just consistently runs through there. One of them.
Now they're not going to get it right out of the Wichita River because if they did, it clogged
Then
untreated mud.
Then it'd be like the falls
Yeah.
right now that are also we'll talk about in a minute. But the and on the power side, Wichita Falls, what we discovered in doing all the research is that we are an electric anomaly in the state of Texas. We are allotted X amount of power. We don't use 40% of it. We use 60% of what's coming here.
Right.
It is like a cul-de-sac. It literally comes here, we don't use it, and it goes back to the metro.
And what about this also? Is that a case where if we over time, if we don't use it, could we have that allocation removed, or is that somehow codified?
Because it's being used.
No,
it's not
right.
by
It's
us.
just being used somewhere else.
Yeah,
Right.
No, but I meant,
we're
our
being
allocation, if we started using it, that's good in a way. I mean, the fact is somebody's going to use it somewhere in
Right.
Texas. Whether they build in Wichita Falls or they build closer to the Dallas
We
area.
just like them to use it here.
Right.
And we're using 60% of it. They're not going to use 40%. They're not going to use even all of what
Right.
we don't use right now. So maybe it's another 20% that is being used by them. So Encore's on board. Everybody has signed on because this all had to be done at the state level.
Right.
One of them is going to be a natural gas power,
All right.
and there's another that
For backup,
Yeah.
right? For backup?
No.
No, it's
for
going to
power.
have.
Yeah, they're gonna
Oh,
build a power
oh, they're
plant.
going to have their own power plant. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one is at this time is working on planning on solar. It's their plan.
Right. Well,
with-
they
with-
probably have some batteries
with
involved.
electric and with some battery. So but the one that is going, the first one
Right.
is electric.
Okay.
And will be there. Their backup is 500,000 gallons of diesel fuel that
Wow.
is underneath the facility
Right.
out there. So yeah, it is a gigantic thing.
Right. And when it comes to doggone it, that flew the coop. But go ahead. I'll
Well,
think
water,
about that.
power, electricity,
yeah.
land,
Land, right.
Those are the things. So we've had folks fly in here from, I won't say where,
All over.
but other states, and flown in. We meet them at the airport. They drive over. They want to see the industrial base. They like to look at Panda. They like to
Right.
look at that's 500,000 square feet. They like to look at that. So we show them what we have, and then we've had them purchase land before they've left that afternoon and fly back. So it's been incredible because there are only so many people in the data center business.
Right.
Right.
I'll try to Apple, Microsoft, the big five.
Right.
And so they talk to each other, and they all know what each other is doing.
Right. Well, and then
They're all
they're,
trying to keep up.
but they're in data. Right. And and if I would imagine they're also utilizing different. So Amazon having their facilities, and then there's other companies that have facilities. So if they're going to, Apple, for instance, probably spreads their wealth across all of them. So there's not one, hopefully, but we do rely on Amazon, AWS, unfortunately, too much. We need to spread that out.
The one thing
Redundancy.
is that they are tenants.
Right.
They rent their space. So
Right.
developers build these buildings.
Right.
And then, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, they rent it.
Right.
You know, there are tenants in these spaces.
Yeah.
So that was interesting to
go ahead.
find out in the
Oh,
beginning.
I was gonna say we probably need to move on.
Right.
Do we
Okay.
need to
Yeah.
switch
No.
to this topic? So,
I'll ask offline.
a little bit.
Falls. Can I tell you about the falls?
Okay,
Yes.
let's talk about falls in the mall.
Okay,
a little bit.
okay.
So,
So the falls is quick. We cleaned them. They were the filters are always getting full of mud.
Yeah.
We were cleaning them. So turned them off. Went to clean them. They're falling apart. The mud was holding
Shocking.
some of that stuff together. So it's a safety issue. You can't be at the base of the falls taking a picture with your family and have it all crash down on you. So had to turn them off for right now. The engineering study is almost complete.
Okay.
They will be back on and be better. Hopefully clear water and maybe maybe some lights in there, something. It will be a better feature than it is now, but we're not they're turned off for repairs. There will be signs coming shortly that you can see from the highway that they're closed for repairs, and then up close there will be a QR code on a sign that will give you updates on where we are on the repairs.
but just
Because people don't believe they're being repaired.
Just in general, it is pretty asinine to say our falls are being repaired.
Well, it is.
But because they're not,
Well, they were man-made.
They were man-made. I just the worst thing about that was, you remember the commercial? You weren't here
I've
for
seen
the
it.
commercial.
I've
You seen the
I've
commercial?
seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy, where's them falls at?
I know.
It was horrible.
Oh, the
Well,
falls.
man-made, and man-made things have to be repaired.
Absolutely.
And maintained, and they weren't.
Yeah.
So
It's a visual
something that we discovered.
symbol.
It was on Channel 8 in Dallas. WFAA TV ran
That
a
was
story
on.
that the falls were turned off. Yes, it was on
God,
Dallas.
that must have been a slow news day.
I guess so.
Yeah.
So, that,
Oh, well.
they're being repaired, and they will
Okay.
be
All right.
back on. Okay, the mall.
So the mall. What can you tell us? I know there's
Yeah.
limited. We get it.
Not as limited as last time because now we own it. We closed on October 15th. We actually own it. The appraisal was for $26 million. It's what we paid for it. So, yes, it was on the tax rolls or whatever for 14, and
Overpaid.
it had gone down. But the actual sale appraisal, which is what you go by,
You have
was,
to,
was
yeah.
what we paid. There are still tenants in there. I can't remember if it's 7 or 12, but there are still tenants in there. We're managing it. We're providing the security, the maintenance, the cleaning, all of those things. There are 62, I believe, 5-gallon buckets in there collecting rainwater.
Wow.
And so the roof is shot in most of it. That's what was being done before we bought it. So the studies are being done right now. We couldn't do things until we really owned it.
Right.
So now we have control of it. There are studies being done right now about we're going to demolish it. We're going to take it down. And
The entire structure?
The entire
All at
structure.
once?
All at once.
Okay.
Go set it up like an implosion
Yes.
in Las
Not
Vegas.
all at once. Probably from Penny's back to the will be the first part from Penny's.
Right,
back
because
to
that's where all the
to
business, most
theater.
of the business end
Yes.
is that
The
that end.
theater,
Yeah.
The restaurants all want to be a part of the new development. They've already said that they will be a new part of the development when those come in. So they're built-in tenants right there. The existing tenants, that it will sit there just like this through next Christmas. Okay, so they have business. They need to get through this Christmas. They need to get through next Christmas. If they don't move out on their own, their leases will have expired. They can be there through the Christmas season, selling, doing whatever they do. Some of them are already moving.
Right.
So to other parts of town, we're doing our best to get them to go downtown. Provide and one or two of them already has moved downtown. So we're helping revitalize downtown with business and
What assistance
tenants.
is the city helping with this?
2 men in a truck.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what is it that y'all are doing as a city to assist in these?
What I know of right now is helping them find locations downtown. Okay. So, they lease their spot. Leases are never guaranteed. They were never guaranteed that they were going to be renewed.
Right.
Some of them started looking when they found out that it was going to be bought, and happened to find other places. So, letting them out of that lease. So
That's without a penalty. Yeah, no penalties for leaving.
Right.
That's good.
So they can go. So
Right, but there's an expense though. I mean, there's a cost to move. I know.
I just moved,
Right, you
last
did.
May,
Yeah,
so-
that's right.
And it is. So,
Right.
But there was no guarantee that wasn't going to happen anyway.
Right. And that's
they're-
business, right?
yeah.
I mean, you that's why you sign leases, and you have to
Yes.
understand that they could hold you to whatever the lease
Yes.
is,
Right.
and up until the day that end of that, and vice versa. Y'all can say,
Exactly.
well, why don't we let you out early?
Yes.
But okay.
But definitely helping, try to find them locations, in building
But there's no money
We
that could
don't have a
be
fund.
no fund, no 4A, 4B or anything.
Nope.
Okay, unless they qualify on their own through some other
Yes.
qualification.
Yes.
Okay.
There are downtown grants for remodeling spaces that they can apply for. They're reimbursable. So
Right.
if they're gonna fix a storefront, if they're gonna remodel something, I believe it may have increased, but it's up to $12,500. To do work on spots.
But I imagine if you're a thoughtful, creative, and we're willing to do the little bit of boot work, you can work with the city and other resources that can put you in touch with those things and come up with some ideas. Maybe you can
Come up with a plan.
Maybe take an opportunity to revamp your whole business model. I mean, there's so many things. You got the Small Business Development Center. I mean, there's
We're gonna bring them.
you got the
and
chamber.
Every
You got
one of them will meet with them, help them, and do whatever.
there. You go. There's too many resources almost
to get those things done. So
when
we're gonna knock it down.
okay,
And hopefully it's going to be, we're going to flip it to a developer, to a master developer.
which makes
bought
sense.
it in the whole first
I was
place.
gonna say, yeah.
So we control it.
yeah.
So it's not, $2 trees in a flea market, right? We literally had a developer that wanted to put $2 trees, one at each end, and let the inside part be a flea market. And we went, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Because this is some of the best 60 acres in
Yes.
So anyway, and have a developer that does this for a living all over America. We've already had 11 of them talk to us. That's their job. They get up in the morning and they knock down malls and they develop retail, restaurants, grocery, green space, maybe an amphitheater, all of these things. 60 acres is a lot of space. The MSU Stadium is in the southeast corner, down by Vernon College, Ollie's, down by that spot. Where they are actively, and MSU is paying for it, MSU and Texas Tech, raising the money, paying for it. The city has nothing to do with it. We're going to lease them the land.
right.
They're trying to decide if it's 8 to 10 acres is what they need.
My brain is having a hard time fitting that in there.
It's not that big.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I just my brain. I don't know.
You should come to my office. It looks out over from that Chase Bank building, and I look out over the whole thing now, and at how big that is from the sky. So, it is. So it'll fit.
Also, when
And
he
they-
flies his private helicopter in, his landing pad.
Yeah.
You've seen that, have you?
Yeah, exactly.
They
Well, the mayor makes all kinds of money.
Flooded
So
it.
yeah.
Yeah, they so it will be like now 8 to 10,000 person stadium with the ends open. I do know that it will face north and south because that's the way they go.
Yeah.
And that the ends are open, and to add another 2,000 people if they need it. MSU is going to go D1, small D1, and they have to have a facility that size. There will potentially be suites, businesses, leased inside the stadium, underneath it. It's not just a skeleton, that's
They're not having Southern Bleacher come here and
No.
throw some bleachers up. This is going to be a real stadium.
And it's for football, it's for soccer, it's for band, it's for all of those things. It's not just for 5 football games a year, concerts, everything that all the use that they can get out of it. So, but prime retail, prime restaurants, grocery, this space will be well used. I see the preliminary drawings from some folks that have talked to us. Those things will run around the edges now. Like when you pull up to the Academy parking lot, people want to drive up to the business that they're going to. It's the reverse of the way the malls
Right,
were.
yeah.
Parked
Exactly.
and then walked through. People want to walk right into the business that. We're not inventing this model.
No.
This is done all over, and
It's-
so
And it's gone this way. Those open air, they call them open air malls, where you basically park right there in front of the business.
And there may be some part of it is 2-story, and there's retail business on top. Maybe there's housing on top, condos, student housing. All they want to use every available inch of what. So see, I believe it's 63 acres total.
So when can we expect as citizens to get some drawings that are like a really good renditions? A year?
A year.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just whatever it is, what it
Hopefully
is.
sooner. I hope within a year.
But that's fair. I mean, that's a year is not a very long time in the
No.
grand scheme of things. When you're talking about probably a 100-year development or a development that should last 50 to 100 years.
They would the projections are that everything would be finished. I think it's 2032, but it's 2026 basically now. So that sounds like a really long time. But over the next after the first year and into the next two, it takes a while to build these things.
Yeah.
So to have and there are some that may jump the gun and get in there early. So there's nothing wrong with that either. As some construction being done, we're going to have to put signs out that say, "Please be patient," because believe it or not, we closed October 15th. I have had people talk to me at McBride's and go, "The mall's still there."
Yeah.
I just drove by, the mall's still sitting there. So you haven't knocked it down yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
Where's my money?
Yeah.
What'd you do? Yeah.
Well, but it's the opposite. When y'all the news went out and the headlines were that y'all closed on the mall. No, they didn't close the mall. It's but
and we do know how to knock things down. We got rid of the old hotel.
Yeah.
And
which, by the way, I don't drive that direction a ton, but when I drive that direction, every time I drive that direction. In fact, I drove that direction. I was so motivated. I pulled over at Scotland Park and texted you because I text while I'm driving.
Yeah.
I was so motivated to let Tim Short know how happy I was that was down. I pulled over literally into Scotland Park, pulled over the access road, and shot Tim a text and said, "Man, I love driving by this thing like
I
this."
appreciate it.
So I got a question for you on the people that y'all are considering flipping this to, these companies.
Right.
Who's paying for those plans that they're showing you?
They are.
Oh,
yeah.
You
Can
mean
you believe
y'all
it?
don't have to say, "Hey, here's money to do a plan," and so we can pick you?
No,
they're actually investing
that's a great
time
point.
and money.
They want the job.
There's
That's a great point.
you have more people, more companies going after you
Yes.
than
I said it the other night. It was on Channel 3, and I didn't even realize I said it until my wife laughed at me when I got home. I said, Wichita Falls is a pretty attractive prom date right now. So take that as you will. No tax breaks to Amazon. No tax breaks to Winco. No tax breaks to data centers. No, I mean record-setting, real estate deals in the history of our city for these places. They want to be here. We don't pay people to come here.
Well, you don't have to. We
we
already
may
have
give-
an attractive place that has the land is already cheap enough.
Right. We don't have to wait 10 years now to collect on Amazon,
Right.
Being here. We didn't
Right.
give them an abatement like that. Now, I'm not saying in the future that there
Right.
won't be a deal that makes sense to have a business or an industry, come here, but those days are over.
well,
So we don't pay the trucking company that doesn't show up, or the mattress company that never opens, or the call center that, that we
Or the
don't
Stanley Tools that leaves town.
Yeah, I know we've had
Sue 'em.
do that.
Right. So a little bit of healthy skepticism might ask the question about following the money. Why? I mean, and I think that's a fair question. But what is it that because clearly we have some offerings. We've done a lot of the work. We feel like that's it. But sometimes if it's easy to get in, and then yet they're going to pull something later, these companies, and say, "Oh, and it's not what we thought it was going to be," and now we find out that too late to do anything about it. So
Lots of good research
Right.
on those contracts, because this isn't the first contract for a data center, for
Right.
Amazon, for any of those things that have been written. We talked to other places that have them and have had them for years as to what happened after a couple years, or what
Right.
did. Yeah, we're checking on those
Now,
things ahead of time.
okay.
I think eyes wide open. I think the city has its eyes wide open on these things now. Yes, there was a period of time when Wichita Falls, we had that mentality of it was we're not good enough and all that, and so when you're fighting from that position, you're kind of almost willing to give everything away just for a hope and a dream.
We're desperate.
We're not that way. It's a seller's market, not a buyer's market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And part of that, bad on us, because we didn't take some of these things earlier and we may have chased them away over the years. Well, they went everywhere else. So we are one of the last places, for them to go.
But
So,
hey, you
but-
learn
but
your
we're
lessons
here.
and move on.
and
So
we've had some calls, that are people said, "Are you ready for us yet?" And we go, "Yes." Come and talk to us. We chased you off 10 years ago, and now we'd like for you to come back.
Appreciate.
we love
Yeah.
to have you in, and we appreciate it. And it always runs long because
I know,
there's so much
sorry.
to talk about, which
Yeah.
is great.
I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's great.
Yeah.
So
We should all be at work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we definitely want to definitely want to have you in the future because that's a nice thing about it. It's not same old.
Right.
When you come on, it's not like, well, yep, we're building over yonder, building. I mean, no, it's new stuff.
Yeah.
Or it's we already knew about the Amazon thing, but now it's finished. So it's a new development.
Right.
Yeah, I've got other new stuff I can't even tell you about.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
But maybe in
yeah.
2 or 3 months,
Yeah.
you'll be able to tell us about
Yes,
some
I
of it.
will. I hope so.
All right. Well,
Christmas is going to throw a little kink. Everybody slows down. At
yeah.
Christmas
Well,
time, so.
I guess we'll wrap it up here. So, what do we got?
Please join us every Friday morning at 7:30 for more insights on our news. And next week, our special guest will be Corey Edmondson,
Yeah.
the CEO of United Regional.
guy.
Yeah, he really is. I had a
Yeah.
kind of a longish conversation on the phone with him. He's really, really a good guy.
You will run long.
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah.
him, just
Well,
like me, but he's a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
And much smarter.
No,
well, thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you
being
coming
on.
in. Yeah, you've always been a supporter of this, and I appreciate it. And I hope you've gotten something out of this because I think we have a unique format. I think we have the time. We're growing, and we appreciate you helping us out with that.
I've said this. It's like there is not another podcast, TV show, or whatever that has long form interviews
gonna give you-
about Wichita Falls.
Right.
Right.
I know the social space, they do some interviews,
Yeah.
but they're not long form.
Yeah.
They're about 10 minutes
Right.
or so, which are great. I love the show.
Yeah.
I watch their show. Steve Garner comes on with us sometimes.
We're unedited here.
But,
Yeah,
but
that's
we-
right.
You use bad language.
Very little, but yes, a little bit.
It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Usually for effect.
Yeah, right. So, well, we appreciate you being here, and we'll wrap it up here. But tell you what, Mike, we always miss Mike, right? And he's always always ended the show by saying, you know what, that we're gonna see you down the road.